This is day 20 of building a 10K a month business while working a 9 to 5. Hey everyone, what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm just going to go through what has the process been like from day 1 to day 20 and just show you what I've done, some of the struggles I've had, really my philosophy going into it, and everything I've accomplished from then up until now. So if you don't know me, my name is Shoulder Toy. I'm an industrial engineer working at a company at the moment as a normal 9 to 5, and I live in South Africa, and I really spending my time in the afternoons whenever I have time to build this business. So the reason I started was literally the day I started, I watched a video of Alex Hormozi where he released a video a while back. I think the video's name, it's a reel, you can go look it up. It's where he says, like, if he had $0 in 2026, this is how he would make $1 million. And I really, I saw that, I was like, it's crystal clear, let me do this. And really the first step he showed was to identify what is the knowledge you have, the skills, and your environment. So I sat down, I voiced a transcript through ChatGPT. That thing was probably like 4 pages long. Put it into ChatGPT with all my skills, my knowledge, my behavior, my environment. And it came up with these really generic business models. I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to help. And then I started to think, like, what are the things that excite me? What are the things that I found like I was good at, which I wouldn't expect being actually good at something. And I realized, even though the agency space, so if you have any idea of what drop shipping is and affiliate marketing and all those type of things, you probably know SMMA. So that's really the marketing agencies for small to medium sized businesses. And I always thought, that market is so saturated. I'm never going to stand out. It's too difficult. It's too saturated. There's too many people in the market already. Not going to do it. And the more I try to realize what are my skills, what are my behavior, I realized I really like ads. I've run some ads in the past. That was the coolest thing I've ever did. I got some people onto a website. It didn't convert, but I did run some ads in the past. I helped a friend build a website, write the copy for it, and I really realized that is something I'm good at, like that, and it does also excite me. I just also thought about, you can get the YouTube subscription or the paid plan, whatever, and you don't get to see the ads. And I was like, well, I'm actually not going to get the paid plan because I like looking at the ads and seeing what makes a good ad, what keeps people's attention. So I thought, let's go into running ads for small businesses. That's really how I got to what to sell. So I wanted to do that for small businesses. The next step was to decide on who do I sell to. So I picked up the book. It's this book by Alex Hormozi. So I found a skill that I put into Claude, and it gave me some of the best niches to go into based on what Alex Hormozi describes in the book as being good markets. So the one was solar and the other one was home remodelers. Did some research, looked at some of the benefits, some of the drawbacks for each niche, looked at what might be a good fit for me and what I think the service should be, and I landed on home remodelers. And then also, I think a big decision I made only a couple of days ago was I wanted to sell in South Africa. I very quickly realized the TAM, so the total addressable market in South Africa, is so small. It's so small. There's probably there's going to be 60 people I'll be able to sell to. Another point was the exchange rate. Someone would be willing to pay 2K a month rand in South Africa for marketing. Someone would also be willing to pay 2K a month dollars in the United States. So there's really a bigger appetite for these type of services in the United States. I believe there's just a bit of a mindset of paying money to make money in the United States. South Africa, just everyone I've come across that has a business, and I'm not saying that that's the reality in South Africa. It's just my experience. I might be wrong, but there are people that, you know, just want to be more conservative in terms of marketing. Something I realized. And so I decided to sell in the US. So I got my niche, it's home remodelers. I got what I sell, that is direct response marketing. And then the next level is to get them to buy. So I know there's a couple of people that made some comments on my previous videos asking really good questions, you know, like, how do you decide what to sell to the niche? Because obviously they have a need and you don't really know what that need is. Now, what I will say is it's a bit of both. Like, you need to either first understand who you're going to sell to and then have some sort of an idea what the need is, or you need to decide on a service you want to go for and then decide what niche best have that need for that service. So it's, in my experience, I might be wrong, it's like a bit of both. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the marketing for the home remodelers, and obviously it's going to refine my service. So even though it's going to be marketing, it's really going to be how I shape or what the angle is for the marketing for that niche, because obviously each niche has their problems, each niche has their struggles, and also a different outcome they want to have. So for example, what I've realized is, and this I might be wrong, I'm going to still test this in the market when I do cold calling, when I do like actually speak to my ICP, is that they really struggle to get actual like serious buyers. So they have a lot of people that ask for a quote, they go out to the person's home, they get the quote, and then silence. So it's really getting clients qualified before you go out to their home, do the quote, and then making sure that they actually then buy. So that's really a problem. So it's not only marketing, it's marketing, getting the leads, but then also making sure that the leads are qualified. And it's really, I think my service is going to be owning the step. So from step one, the ads, to the landing page, to the like qualifying the client, making sure they show, making sure that we get the quote. Well, that's going to be the home remodeler's responsibility, have them get the quote, and then also the nurturing, the follow-up after the quote, making sure they actually buy. That's really going to be the service, I think, for now. But still, when I start cold calling, when I start speaking to these people, I need to ensure or refine my offer and actually make sure it's something they need that addresses their pain. Another thing is that, so that's really been like some of the things I've built, and I cringe almost when I say that, because I know there's some form of procrastination when I build all these tools, when I build the website, when I make the website better, when I build like my lead list and make sure it's like my ICP. I know I need to start reaching out to people and start sending out the emails and getting on the phone and having that hard conversations. I'm really not excited for cold calling, but it's something I need to do. And that's going to be a fun video to watch, I think. So that's some of the things I've done. For now, very quickly, it's refining that, just making sure I understand my service, like the whole process of the service. And then when someone says yes, so when I send the email, they say yes, that flow from the point where they say yes to when they actually buy is crystal clear. It's something I know for sure, this is what I'm going to do. This is the meeting I'm going to have with them. This is the presentation I'm going to share. This is the expectation I'm going to set, etc. Also then, so that's really the next step. And then the biggest challenge I've had so far is just the noise. So there's like working a 9 to 5 and then also building a business. There's like your mind is in two places all at once. And then even to make it worse, this content I'm sharing or doing has also really had a toll on me. You know, I'm focusing on the content, trying to improve it in some way, but still it's like actually building the business and then also the 9 to 5. There's so many elements that it's really difficult for me to get a clear train of thought of what is the next thing I need to do for the business, what are my next steps, etc. So I think that is really the biggest challenge at the moment, apart from also actually getting time to spend on the business. And then some of the biggest lessons that really helped me was a lesson, I think it was day 5 or maybe day 7, I think day 8, where I shared that there was something that hit me that really helped me through this whole journey. And that was, don't make the big decisions in the bad moments. What I mean by that is, and I'll follow it up with another quote. I think this is from the book called The Psychology of Money. I might be wrong, but it's everything is not as good or as bad as it seems. So your mind is really good at creating real scenarios or creating fake scenarios that create real emotion. So in that moment where I'm busy with, figuring out my ICP, and I'm like, oh, well, there's so many other people that's already selling to these people. There's so many challenges. Also, another thing is, like, when you're starting to build a business, there's so many things that you need to learn up front, and can become super overwhelming. And it's so easy in that moment when you're having a bad day to say, like, listen, it's not me. I'm not going to go through this. The content is useless. Nobody's watching it. I'm just going to stick to my 9 to 5. That's what I'm here to do. I've studied 4 years. Why don't I just continue with that? But in that bad moment, don't make the big decision to say, like, oh, it's all for nothing. I'm just going to quit. Because that's what I've done for the last 3 years, trying to start a business. When it gets hard, in that moment, I'm like, well, I'm done. And then leave it for a week. And then it feels like I start from square one with a new business model, a new niche, everything. So that's like every time there's like the moment where I feel this is all for nothing, I'm like, I'm not going to make that decision now. I'm just going to let it simmer, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 hours go by, and then I'm fine. I'm like, cool, I'm ready for this again. Another thing is, the content has been a struggle, but the reason why it's helped me so much is, and a bit of a story, I watched a video, it was on the Diary of a CEO. I can't remember the guy's name, but he essentially said, when you feel stuck, when you don't know what to do, put yourself in the environment of the people you essentially want to become. So if you want to have or reach a level of experience or level of success, put yourself in the environment with people that has already reached that level. And really what the content has helped me do is, for some reason, it flipped the switch in my mind to make me believe I'm already in that environment. Like when I speak into the camera, when I'm making this content, when I'm busy with the business, I tell myself, I'm now that guy that's building a 10K a month business while working a 9 to 5. I'm not like, I don't feel like an imposter anymore. I feel like, cool, I'm actually doing this. And that is really what I think that environment of people helps you believe. Obviously they share learnings, they share some skills, they share some things you need to, that's going to be very valuable, like in terms of information. But I mean, there's so much information out there. There's like, YouTube has a video for every single problem or thing you can think of. So I don't think it's the information that helps in those environments. It's really the mindset. You now start to believe, listen, I am this person, and that just drives you forward. That just helps you to stay in it. So that's really why the content has helped me quite a lot. And then, yeah, that's basically it. So if you have been watching this far, the 1 or 2 of you, please do consider subscribing. I'm gonna continue on with this series. This is the commitment. I'm gonna continue on with the series until I reach 10K a month, and even probably beyond that. So if you want to see the videos, I'm gonna try and make it as short as possible, just to give you a snippet each and every day of what I'm doing, and I hope it helps. I think rather watch one video every day than knowing that I made 10K a month and you're like, oh, well, shucks, let me watch the whole season of 200 days worth of content. So, and also, I think something will help me quite a lot is comment down below, what are the things you want to see in these videos? What are the things you think I can maybe do better for the content? Some things you want to know, like am I struggling with this? Like, what did I do in this situation? Like, how did I do this? Don't know, but please comment down below. I'll respond to those comments, especially because the channel is also quite small. So please do comment, and hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next video.